Well, hello there, and welcome to your monthly numerology here at Readings at the Round Table. I'm Jennifer, and I am a little hesitant about March, but it's coming whether I want it to or not, right? But let me tell you, March 2025 is coming in with a roar. I mean, a roar. Okay, so the first day of March, March 1st, we are kicking it off in like real time with Venus going retrograde in Aries. Venus is going to be retrograde until April 12th, and it is going to retrograde, excuse me, it is going to retrograde back into Pisces later on in March. On March 3rd, we have Mercury moving into Aries. Now, this is a good thing because Mercury is not overly fond of being in Pisces. It rules, Virgo and Gemini. So being in Sagittarius and being in Pisces is not comfortable because it's opposing the signs that it rules. So Pisces is not the most comfortable place for Mercury. So it is good that Mercury's moving into Aries. But there's more on Mercury this month. Of course, on March 4th and March 5th, we have Fat Tuesday, Mardi Gras, and then Ash Wednesday. So I just wanted to throw that in just for fun. And another just for fun, on the 9th of March, we have Daylight Savings Time. So I know not everyone does that. Like in the U.S., I'm finding that out. But it's happening in some places in the U.S., Daylight Savings Time. So don't forget to set your clocks ahead. On the 14th, okay, here's a big one. On the 14th of March, we have a full moon in Virgo that is hitting its peak at 2:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is also the lunar eclipse. So we have Virgo and Pisces moving into the ecliptic, and Aries and Libra moving out. All right, because North Node went into Pisces in January, so that puts South Node in Virgo. This is our first one in Virgo and Pisces. So the full moon in Virgo with the lunar eclipse on the 14th is like putting us in that different ecliptic, that different feel. On the 15th, just after that powerful full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo, Mercury goes retrograde in Aries, and Mercury will be retrograde until April 7th. On a side note, this is the Ides of March. So it's kind of interesting because there's a lot of superstition around March 15th, around March 15th, because that's supposed to be the day that Julius Caesar was assassinated. And there's a lot of other superstitions around the Ides of March, but I just thought I would let you know, Mercury is going retrograde in Aries on that day. I know. It's insane. On the 17th, of course, we have St. Patrick's Day. And on the 20th, we have the sun moving into Pisces. The sun moving into Aries. What is wrong with me? There is a total party going on in Pisces. So if you have a lot of stuff happening in Pisces in your chart, you need to be aware of this. If you have sun, moon, or rising, or just a lot of planets in Pisces in your chart, you need to be aware of this because there is a total party in Pisces, like right now. And all the way through March, to be honest with you. Okay, so back to this. On the 20th, the sun moves into Aries, not Pisces, and it's also the spring equinox. Wow, love that. Love it. It is also International Astrology Day. Go hug your astrologer. Go buy your astrologer a cup of coffee. I'm just kidding. I just think it's a lot of fun. Okay, so on the 27th, I told you there was more going on with Venus. On the 27th, Venus retrogrades back into Pisces, and on the 29th, Mercury retrogrades back into Pisces. So again, as I said, there's a party going on in Pisces. And also on the 29th, we have a new moon in Aries that hits its peak at 6:58 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but it's also the solar eclipse. So we're moving off of the ecliptic of Aries and Libra, and we're moving into the Pisces Virgo ecliptic. So you can see that with the lunar eclipse that we have in Virgo, in the full moon in Virgo, and you'll see it in the fall when we go through the eclipses then as well. On the 30th, here's a kicker. Neptune, who rules Pisces, is moving into Aries. Now, Neptune moves very slowly, if I'm not mistaken, 14 years. Yes. Yeah, Neptune moves every 14 years. Just wanted to double check my notes. So Neptune has been in Pisces, which it rules, for the last 14 years. It's moving into Aries for a short period of time, and then he's going to retrograde back into Pisces for a little bit before moving into Aries again for the next 14 years. So that's a big deal. And we're going to talk more about that. I have like a whole video planned on that. So just letting you know. Okay, so we're ending March with 5 planets with North Node in water, 2 in air, 2 in earth with South Node, and 2 in fire. Yeah, party in Pisces. That's all I'm saying. So we have the Sun and Neptune in Aries, Uranus in Taurus, Jupiter is in Gemini, Mars is in Cancer, and thank goodness, like, Mars is going direct on the 23rd of February. Oh my gosh. So happy about that. Then we have South Node in Virgo, Aquarius is hosting Pluto, and Pisces has North Node, Saturn, Venus, and Mercury. Yeah, it's a good time. All right, so I want to tell you what the crystal of the month is. I'm so excited about this. It's so pretty, and I have to move all my notes and stuff. So before I do that, I do want to tell you I will be pulling from the usual cards this month. The Goddess Guidance, the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck and Moonology Oracle cards by Yasmin, Boland. I just love these cards, even with my coffee spilled on it right there. Yeah, I love these cards. So I will be pulling from those cards for the advice cards for March. And I think I can get this. Let's see. Okay, yeah. How about that? Okay, here we go. So, the crystal of the month is petrified wood. And I don't have that many pieces of petrified wood because it seems to sell really quickly. I don't know what it is, but in my booth, this stuff sells like hotcakes. It's amazing. So I picked up these pieces all at this wonderful Natural Treasures Incorporated. They're out of Pittsburgh. I picked them up from, I picked these up from them. These are so beautiful. They are so these are wonderful because they've definitely been polished. And I love that you can see like the different colors and the different textures in these. Here's 2 small pieces. And you can really see like there's a lot of different colors. Most of them are like sort of this reddish brown color, but there are light browns, there's blacks, there's like, this one has both light brown and red in it. There's even like little streaks of white here and there. They're absolutely gorgeous. Okay, I jumped the gun and put my notes down because I wanted to read this. The petrified wood is an energetic cleanse. It promotes balance and calmness. It grounds energy. It dissolves emotional fears, and it encourages inner peace. I think this is so important, like really during this time when we have Mercury and Venus, like both retrograde in Aries, both going back into Pisces. There's a lot of things like happening right now that I feel like we need some balance, and I feel like this is it's also a year of release. It's a year of the 9. I may have mentioned this once or twice, but I think this is a pretty important thing to have this emotional cleanse. Also, it's coming right after that really powerful new moon in Pisces that I was talking about. And I don't know how much I mentioned of it in February. I mean, I may talk about it on my live show. I'm not sure. But here, let me switch this. But the thing is, this Pisces new moon is really, really important. It is like an emotional new beginning. It is a spiritual, like, fresh start, new beginning. And it is a powerful time for you to manifest. But you do have to clean out the clutter before you start bringing in new stuff. And I love this because this, if we haven't hit it by the time that you're watching this, the Pisces new moon is on the 27th. So it's it's really, really important. I mean, it's a great, powerful moon, and Pisces and Virgo are on the ecliptic now. So again, it puts Pisces more front and center, more as like the main character, and Virgo, as the main character. But I mean, come on, I'm a Virgo. Who isn't the main character if you're a Virgo, right? I mean, yeah. So anyway, all this lovely petrified wood, I think that this is so beautiful. I think it's a great emotional cleanser. And it also, the book that I pulled, the Healing Oracle Crystal Reading Cards, I usually read from those. It also connects us with our ancestors. It connects us with our roots. And I think that's so great because, again, it helps ground us. This is a strong strong grounding stone and centering crystal. It assists in connecting you with the tree spirits to receive deep wisdom and healing from your ancestors. It awakens the deep knowledge that lies within the blood and bones of your ancestry. It assists in realizing any old ancestral karma brought down through the bloodline. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So let me know what you guys think about it. Again, this card is such a perfect illustration of how different each piece of petrified wood, I feel like, is just very, very unique. Yes. And speaking of unique, let's see what your individual numerology is for this fantastic and very motivating month of March. Hello, Life Path 5. Well, March, I don't want to say that you might have it the easiest because that may not be completely accurate. But March has a lot of stuff going on. I mean, Venus retrograde is a big deal. It is. And, coupled with Mercury retrograde, again, kind of a big deal here. So you are all about change. You know that. Your life path is so much fun. You're so energetic. You're so gregarious. You're very engaging. You're a very passionate life path number. But it's a lot of changes, right? You're adaptable, you're versatile, and you understand, like, pivotal changes happen, right? So you're good with that changeability kind of thing. So for March, you have an 8-month, which is a lot of abundance. I know, this is my shirt from the year of the 8. So, but you have a lot of abundance coming in March. So March being an 8-month, you are understanding the vibration of the 8 is infinite supply. There's an infinite supply. Nobody's taking your share. There's an abundance out there. You have to tap into it. It's a lot about money, actually. It's about inspiration. It's it's understanding that there's not a limit to the amount of inspiration, power, or money that can come into you. Now, some of us may take a different stance on that because we're just like, dude, my paycheck sure is limited, right? But the thing is, I think that's understanding that you have the ability to make this money. That being said, Venus does rule our material wealth. Venus rules material things as well as like relationships, which is why when I look at people and I'm like, wow, I can't tell whether they're really engrossed in like a romantic relationship or if they're just really into material items, because Venus rules those things so closely that a lot of times we have a lust for both, let's say. Yeah. So this is a great time for you to set an example of self-empowerment for others. But when you're doing that, and I think that a lot of people throw around self-empowerment, blah, blah, blah. The thing is, self-empowerment means that you've been through some shit. It means that you've been through the muckety muck and you know how to get out of it. So I'm not just throwing that around here and just going, oh my gosh, self-empowerment, blah, blah. No, no, no. If you're an example of self-empowerment for others, that means you're having to show people what you've been through. That means you're having to show people your scars, so to speak. So it's okay to do that during this time. It is. This is definitely, you're going to feel the time of karma. So all the stuff that you've been putting out there, you're going to reap this month. And I do feel like this is a wonderful thing. I do, because I feel like I read for a lot of fives, and y'all have definitely been through it. It has been hard on some of the odd numbers for a minute. 5, 7, 9. They've not had it easy. So I think that this is definitely going to be an easier month for you. I really do. And I think that you've been putting out some good stuff, so it's time for you to receive it. And the thing is, you need to be open to receiving during this month. A lot of like an 8 vibration is being open to receiving. So the mantra of the 8 is, I embrace the power within me while honoring the divinity in others. That means you are seeing how great you are, but also seeing and acknowledging how great someone else is. I don't really feel like that's so much of a problem for you, though. I really don't. Because you understand like that life is unpredictable and that we all have good and bad in us. And that's what I love about the energy of the 5, is that you're not just putting people into a box of good or bad. No, you understand that we all have a little bit of both of us. Both of those things in us. I'll say that right in just a second. Yeah. Sorry, my cat spilled coffee all over me. I've been pointing this out to everybody, so I don't know if you can see. I have coffee on me. It just was a huge mess. Like, redo your makeup kind of mess. It's great. So I'm going to remind you of your mantra 5. It's, I am energy and creative action, rejuvenating, dynamic, inspiring, and passionate. You are passionate, and this is definitely a time of passion. I really do. I love this. I love this for you. I think this is the perfect time for it, because it's not about relationships. It is about money. It is about money. And Venus does rule that part, but it is not about relationships. And I think that is, that's something important, because we don't need to start any new relationships during Venus retrograde. We need to deal with the relationships that we have, and we need to iron out some of those creases before we move on. But this could also be a time for you to reevaluate your money situation. This could be a time for you to reevaluate and rethink like your material goods, your income stream, whatever. And it's not necessarily bad. It's just reevaluate and reworking it. I know that's what retrogrades are for me, is it's a re-time. Like, what do we need to re-look at? What do we need to reevaluate. I know. I keep using that word, reevaluate, but it's so perfect for this Venus retrograde because Mercury is joining it and compounding it. And Mercury goes retrograde like all the freaking time. I mean, I'm double ruled by Mercury, so it's insanity. The lesson of the 8 is to lead with compassion for others and not from the ego. And I do think that really does align with you because I don't think that's what you do. You're very compassionate anyway, because again, you understand that there's good and bad in everything and everyone, and you can work with the changes. You can be versatile, you can be adaptable and be like, okay, we were going this way, but we got a detour. That's all right. We can make this happen. And I think for you, with your lesson of harnessing your energy like successful athletes so that you can have the freedom to go beyond your limitations, this is, and it's imagined limitations, by the way. I think that this is showing you that you can accomplish great things in March. Yeah, I know. The shadow side of the 8 is taking responsibility for other people's choices, trying to fix other people, and attachment to the material. So again, we see that material thing coming in March with Venus retrograde. It's going to be a little bit tricky, but it's hard not to get attached to some material things. But the thing is, I love about 5s and really about the vibration of the 8 as well, is that you're not putting, most people don't put like the people that they love, like underneath the material things that they love. They're just like, okay, I love this house, but I love my family more. And if I want my family to stay together, maybe we need to downsize houses. I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying you're selling your house. This is not what I'm saying. So I think that I still think this is a wonderful time, but remember, you do not have to take responsibility for others' choices. You are not responsible for some other grown adult making choices. Okay? Yeah, I'm just like waiting for you to go, okay. And I know I can't hear you. I'm not getting weird. So let's see what advice cards we get for you. I am truly, I know. I do think that you and 4 and possibly 7 may have the easier route this go round, because everybody else has something to do. Okay, maybe 9 as well, but everybody else has something to do with relationships. Yeah. And that's fun, isn't it? Isn't that accurate? Yeah. Yeah. Everybody else has something to do with relationships. And quite frankly, I think it's just like 4, 5, and 7. A little bit of 9, but 4, 5, and 7, I think you guys are going to have the easier time this month. So if you know any 4s, and that's also a 22. Oh, I forgot to flip the camera again. I know, I don't want comments. I don't want emails about me forgetting to flip the camera. Ooh, Mother Mary, expect a miracle. Shut up. Oh my gosh, this is so great. Okay, have faith that your prayers have been heard and are being answered. Life Path 5. Yeah. Like I said, I read for a lot of 5s. So funny. A lot of Aquariuses, a lot of 5s, and they're not always the same. That's going to drive me crazy that's like visible. When Mercury, my cat, spilled my coffee, it it went everywhere. It went all over me, all over some of my books. It didn't hit the cards, which is great, but it went just like everywhere. How happy was I? Yeah. Okay, Life Path 5. Ooh, North Node. Step out of your comfort zone. That is interesting. Let's see what the book says, shall we? Okay. Okay, I feel like it's in the back, but maybe I'm wrong. No, it is. Here we go. All right, step out of your comfort zone, North Node. There's a strong feeling when you get this card that it's time to leave the past behind somehow because you're headed in the right direction. Oh God, karma, seriously. Okay, if you want to be happy and fulfilled, you need to get going towards doing the thing that scares you within reason. This card is all about living your life purpose, which is possibly what you've asked about. It's urging you to dare to do something different with your life and your direction. So take action. So are you willing to follow through and lead the life you incarnated to live? If you finally find the courage to make the leap, there's a good chance you'll come to ask yourself, why did I wait so long? This is the thing. This card is all about saying, I know I'm headed in the right direction. And headed in the right direction you are. I mean, we've got expect a miracle and step out of your comfort zone with the North Node. But the biggest thing is that this is an 8-month for you. And this is a time of reaping what you've sown. And Life Path 5, I feel like you've sown some pretty good oats. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me today, Life Path 5. I hope you have a magnificent, I'm trying to keep up with different M's for different readings. Never mind. I hope you have a magnificent March. I think it's going to be pretty magnificent. For some of us more than others, but I hope you're not ruled by Venus. It's a sticky situation when Venus is in retrograde. Luckily, it only happens every couple of years. Again, have a great March. Until we see each other again, get out there and make your magic. Bye.